I love this question because we really do see impact investments across all asset classes. And the first one I want to talk about that we see very often highlighted by impact advisors, but not always recognized as much or realized by investors, is with your cash. So it's an asset class that's often overlooked. Cash or a cash equivalent, and it can have really significant impact. For example, Lisa mentioned CDFIs, community development finance institutions. Generally, they work in underserved and low-income communities. In fact, nationally, I think 83% of CDFI money goes into underserved communities. These are communities, that often have a hard time accessing capital. So having the money go directly into these communities of need, they focus sometimes on affordable housing or loans to local businesses. And it's a really great low-risk way of getting your money into your local community. You can also put your cash in a credit union or a responsible bank. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. But one thing I do want to say is this is not something that individual investors should have to figure out themselves. If you're working with an impact advisor who really knows what they're talking about and has real expertise, they will know of all of these opportunities, and they will be able to make some really good suggestions on how to activate that cash portion of your portfolio, or really in any asset class that you're interested in, as long as it fits with your financial goals. Another one, just quickly, is public equities. A lot of people have heard, ESG, the term ESG, environmental social governance. This is very often referred to as in the public equity space. A lot of services provide ESG ratings. There's some new SEC regulations around that are proposed around what funds can use ESG or not, but those are not actually, those have not been adopted yet. So you have to, again, be really careful about the advisor you choose, because you're sort of relying on their expertise to really be able to get to wade through the sometimes like greenwashing or impact washing that some of these ESG funds may be using. In bonds, it could be anything from green bonds or social impact bonds. Those are something you'd want to ask your advisor about. And then in the private markets, often there's sort of an assumption that private markets may be higher impact. Of course, it could also have higher risk and higher return. So again, has to be appropriate for your own financial situation. Again, important to talk to an advisor about. But this is where you would directly invest in a company or a fund that's providing a specific solution in an issue that you care about. So, for example, it could be a climate solution, or a company that's engaging in a particularly responsible business practice. Maybe that's addressing a sustainable development goal that you really care about. So I would say that, I showed when we looked at the platform, all of the different asset classes, and you can filter based on those asset classes to really find advisors that offer impact investments within each one. And I would just say, it's really important to take the time to find the advisor who is that right fit for you. So because there really is a whole range of different types of advisors out there.